Valley, Mr. Jeremy Dean from the Dean Machine, old friend of John. I'll bet, look at. First thing you gotta do is you gotta check out Jeremy's t-shirt.
This is a roast, by the way, and nobody is safe. Nobody. So I'd like to welcome everybody who came to pay tribute to the one and only Jonathan Sardi. No, and I am not Dustin Pedroia. We're both lacking in hair in the wrong places and too much hair in the... Wait a minute. Lacking hair in the right places, too much hair in the wrong places. Okay, and I'd also like to welcome the people who are viewing us over the internet. Are they viewing us over the internet? Obviously, they were smart enough not to come tonight. Another person who couldn't come tonight is my lovely wife. She's actually home for one reason only, and that's for me to use her as an excuse to get out of here as soon as possible. And I mentioned to my wife, what we were doing tonight, and that we were coming to pay tribute to John. We're gonna roast him a little bit, and she said, "Oh, that should be fun. That should be fun." That's how she talks, That should be fun. It's kind of weird. But I didn't get too excited because she said the same exact thing on our wedding night. I look around the room. There's some great musicians in the audience. Toby Savage, who's a PA. That's a short term for doctor. He does all the doctor stuff, so the doctor doesn't have to do it, but he doesn't get the title of doctor. And incidentally, he's so accident prone that he's full of more metal than the Eiffel Tower is. Next to him, we got Mr. Al Hosper, who's an amazing bass player. Great friend, great guy. But he's so intense that he makes a squirrel on cocaine look like he's sleeping. Where's Al anyway? Oh, there he is. So Al's old, so you have to talk loud. Al, pay attention. Over here. Okay.
Hey, it's not my birthday.
Well, the nurse isn't with you tonight, so. Incidentally, I talked to the family last week. They're going to pull the plug next week. You'll be a lot better off. He actually died 3 years ago, and nobody told him. Yeah. Tom and Kathy, I hear you two are dating, right? They just told me tonight. Actually, if you want to know the truth, we knew before you did. I think that might be it. I'm looking around. So we're here tonight to celebrate a determined man. A man who sticks to his values, tries to make the world a better place. If you've been on Facebook, you know this. A man who's vowed to put an open mic on every street corner. A man who recently lost 25 pounds when he stopped ordering breast milk over the internet. I'm 43. I'm gonna be 43 myself, so I can't give you too hard of a time, but you haven't aged well. I'm sorry. And it looks like it's time to go to that new website they have called carbondating.com. Oh boy, this is almost too much to take. How's everybody doing? Good. I'm a little nervous. Had a couple glasses of water. We only came for the lobster, and then Al said we were having a roast. So. John was telling me the other day that the best way to look young is to hang out with old people, so that's why Al and Tom are always here for every open mic. But you are in fact getting married, John, to a lovely woman. Isn't she beautiful? She is very beautiful. Very beautiful. How does she feel about marrying a man twice her age? I'd like to know. Actually, I want to tell you the truth. I never really liked you. It's true. I mean, it's, you're tall, good looking. You still have all your hair. And I hate you for it. Just so you know. Actually, I've known John for 13 years now. We've spent many hours talking. Usually he calls me when I'm out in the middle of the woods cutting wood. And I sit out in the freezing cold talking to John Sardi. And we solve the world problems together. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. I respect the fact that he does what he thinks needs to be done and doesn't just talk the talk. That's true. He's got everything going for him. And John, I honestly hope you have a long, happy life doing exactly what you love, and I'm glad to call you my friend. And on that note, and just because I respect and care for this man so much, Sue helped me out doing this earlier. I have the t-shirt. Everybody's seen the t-shirt. It says, "I only eat GMO foods." I started eating GMO foods when John said not to. And the fact that I have a third nipple now means nothing to me. I also have the back of my shirt here. My daughter did that. She wants me to give it to you afterwards. She signed it. I mean, I'm not going to strip down near it because I look like a honey badger that hasn't had a suntan. But I do have one last thing to show you, and it's not going to be what you think. But the actions may look that way. Thank you very much, John. Thank you, Al. I'll see you all later.
That was Jeremy Dean. If you get a chance to see his band, The Dean Machine, you really ought to do it. The guys are great. And he's yes. Oh, is that why he's been smiling all night? Speaking of Simon, I know he doesn't want him. I'm going to get him up here for a minute. Another one of John's old friends, Great Valley musician, Mr. Simon Crawford. And if you think he talks funny, nah, it's us.
Living on the edge here. Jonathan. Oh, I'm completely half in the bag, believe me. Half in the bag, I'm full in the bag. It's all going to come out. I remember Jonathan way back in the day here. I'm talking like 10, probably 12 years ago, when Jonathan and the original White Mountain Boys first started. They used to come up to the Shenandoah. They would come up to the Peter Luce benefits that we used to do. These guys were kids. legitimate kids. I'm talking 18, 19, full of piss and vinegar, firing it up. They're going to be rock stars. We're going to take it to the limit. And you know what? This guy is the only guy I've ever known that's taken it to the limit, maximum all the time. And I have got nothing but the best kudos to say for you, because you do not stop. You keep rolling on and pushing the envelope. That is the mark of a good musician and a salesman. You do it so well, Jonathan. You are the man. Round of applause for Jonathan. Let's hear it. Now let's get to the filth. That was the good bit. I got a phone call from North Conway PD. Excuse me a minute. It was 3:30 a.m. on a Sunday night. Do you know a guy called Jonathan Sardi? Maybe. Why? Apparently him and his dog team are now in Freiburg someplace chasing after something. But do you know this guy called Jonathan Sarti? And I'm like, well, I'm not so sure. Am I going to get fined for saying I know this guy called Jonathan Sarti? But no, that was a good night. You still owe me $100 for that night. That was a hell of a fine I had to pay to get your ass out of jail that night. And a whole bottle of Patron, exactly. Anyway, cut this short. I'm just winging it here. But Jonathan Sarti and the White Mountain Boys, of all the guys I've met in this valley, you are the finest, young man. You really are. You push it to the limit and you do the thing, and kudos to you. You're a star, and you're going to be a star.
Simon Crawford. You can catch the Simon Crawford Band every Friday afternoon down the, almost there, 4 to 7. Hot group. You gotta check them out. And Saturday at the, where's the Wildcat? There's a bunch of old guys that hang out there, 40-something and beyond. Hey, I'd like to introduce another